There is actually an unusual ward in Dota 2 that you can buy on the Steam market right now for less than 15 cents. So I'm going to talk about that and all of the other wards that I think are great value in Dota at the moment. Unusual wards really only exist due to a series of bugs from many years ago causing a few specific wards to exist with ethereal gems socketed in them, resulting in the existence of wards with effects like orbital decay. These wards are very expensive and highly sought after in the high tier trading scene, often in the thousands of dollars. However, in 2016, for the International, Valve released the Smeevil's Penance, an upgradable ward with 5 styles, and 4 of those included particle effects. There are no other wards in the game with anything similar whatsoever. This ward has 5 unlockable styles. The second, third, and fourth are the most interesting ones. The second style looks basically like the well-known Snowdrift effect from Frostivus 2023. It's on a green model, but the glow does look blue in-game. The next style is a blue model with blue smoke effects. The most interesting style is the fourth pink style. This style has what I think is similar to Rubeline Sheen in a pink color with a lookalike effect of Trail of Lotus Blossom. This is the best effect you can find on any ward that you can buy in Dota at the moment on the Steam market, and it costs about 8 cents on the Steam market at base cost. If you search for specifically versions with every style unlocked, it's about 15 cents. If you want to search the Steam market for only the unlocked versions of this item, you can find a link in the description to my useful link spreadsheet which includes this item and many more from my previous video. Now I want to go over the other best wards in Dota at the moment. The only other ward with any significant particle effect whatsoever is the Loft Watcher, which has like a feather effect similar to orbital decay, but it's way more minimal and is very expensive. It's about $15 compared to very expensive compared to every other ward, which is about 3 cents. The other best wards in Dota right now are basically all of the wards that don't look like wards, in my opinion. The Eye Fountain is one of the absolute best. It's consistently priced around $10. It's a ward that most of the Candyworks caravan guides will tell you to take if you get offered it. The model is really cool and its animation is really unique. If you're happy to spend this much on a ward, this is one you definitely want to have. This list is basically all the wards I have on shuffle at the moment in Dota. The All-Seeing Eye Dogs is quite interesting as well. It's quite a big model. The only one that has a larger footprint really is the Curious Snaptrap, which I don't really like. But if there's one that I can recommend you get, it's the first one that I mentioned, the Smeevil's Penance. I think it's exceptional value. It's very, very underrated and very cool to have particle effects on your wards. Ocular the Observer is quite cute and unique. It's similar to one of my favorites, the Overseer's Burden. Probably my favorite ward, not based on its animations, but based on its model alone. I think it's really, really cool. The Overseer's Burden is about 50 cents and Ocular the Observer is like 3. The Knight Statue is one of my absolute favorites too. It's quite expensive. It's about 10 bucks. Some wards are interesting because of the animations and movements that their models have, but this one is interesting for exactly the opposite reason. It doesn't move at all, but its model is so good on its own that it justifies its own price. If you don't want to spend that much on a ward skin, Fallen Sight is another option. It's closer to $1, but it has a similar style. It's one of my favorites as well. Bramblewatch and Savvy the Tarsus feel similar in style. They're both very good, both very interesting and nice to have on a shuffle. Echo the Locator is also a similar style and they're all under 10 cents. I really like Dragon Ward. Its movement is very different to everything else and it's very eye-catching. It's also under 10 cents. The Franglerfish is very weird. Its model is basically on the ground, which can be a bit surprising to see when an enemy is dewarding you, for example. It's very unique, and if you have your wards on shuffle, it's a very interesting thing to have pop up in a game when you place a ward for the first time. The Clockwork Watcher and Neokin Fairy Ward are both very expensive. I don't rate them very highly, but they're commonly known as high value wards. I think they're massively overrated. The Fairy Ward is nearly $8 and the Clockwork Watcher is 4 or 5. Some wards are really expensive because of how hard they were to obtain. A lot of these high tier wards were given out as rewards for tournament passes back when they used to sell those in the Dota client. So a lot of these expensive wards are just expensive because of how rare they are to get versus how cool they actually are. I would much rather use Beaks and Bubbles for 3 cents. It's a really cool model and has some nice animations than either of those two. Finally, I think the Shifty Minnow, the other ward with 5 styles, is quite cool. It's better in purple than it is the other colours and the gold isn't super interesting. There's a couple of other interesting wards that people rate kind of highly. I don't really like either of the Flytrap wards. I don't think they're very good. Other than that, I'd be interested to hear what you guys use, if there's anything that you think I've left out. that you should buy. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this or found it useful. I recently added channel memberships, so I wanted to say thank you to the first couple that I have. If you want to support this kind of content, you can join that through the join button. There's a small backlog of members only videos, which are just some quick views of unusual items and arcana colors that my friends had asked me to make at different times. I do have some longer form stuff coming. I have another video like my baby Roshan video coming out quite soon, so if you're interested in stuff like that, then please subscribe.